This plant right behind me is actually where sugar comes from, so today we're gonna harvest some. This plant is known as sugarcane and is the source of over 75% of the world's sugar. So today we're gonna harvest some of these stalks from the garden and make our own homemade sugar. The first thing I did was go ahead and make a cut down at the base to harvest 3 of the largest sugarcane stalks. Next, after harvesting the sugarcane stalks that we're going to use today, I just went ahead and removed the top leaves. That way, all that we're left with are the stalks. Next, I just cut them into manageable sized pieces and we're going to remove the skin. To do this, you can either use a vegetable peeler like I am here or a knife. After removing the skin of the sugarcane, it should look something like this. Then you want to carefully stand it upright and use your knife to go ahead and split the stalk in half. Then you just want to cut each one of the stalk halves into small pieces, that way they're easy to blend and they don't overwork the blender. After repeating the same process for the rest of the sugarcane, this is what we're left with. The skins we can go ahead and compost, and then some of the pieces that have some roots on them, I'm going to end up saving because all you have to do to replant this is stick it sideways like this into the ground, and each one of these little nodes that are on the sides will end up sprouting up and becoming new sugarcane. The sugarcane is absolutely delicious on its own, so at this point you could just go ahead and pop it right in your mouth. You don't actually eat the fibers of the sugarcane though, you just suck out all the juice. And in order to make the sugar, we need to do that just on a much larger scale. To juice the sugarcane, I like to just go ahead and blend it, but you want to add a little bit of water, that way you don't overheat the blender and make sure that the pieces are small enough that it manages to chop it thoroughly. After blending up all the sugarcane, I just added it into a bowl lined with some cheesecloth, and we're just going to go ahead and squeeze out all the remaining juice. After you're done removing all the juice, this is what it should look like. The sugarcane juice is delicious on its own, but to make granular sugar, we have a few more steps. You want to add your sugarcane juice to a large pan on medium heat and let it simmer. As it starts to simmer, you'll notice that a green foam starts to come to the surface, and you just want to try to skim off as much of it as you possibly can. Then you just want to continue to let the mixture cook down and let all of the water evaporate. That way you're left with the condensed sugars. Once you get to the point that you stir it and it leaves behind a trail, you know that you're close to it being done. But to double check that it's ready, you can add a drop to some cold water, and if it forms a soft sugar ball, then you know that it's good. At this point, you want to quickly remove the pan from the heat. That way you make sure that the cooking process stops and you don't end up burning it. And then you just want to stir this mixture until it turns into sugar. I went ahead and sped this part up for you guys because it definitely takes quite a while, but eventually if you keep stirring the mixture, it becomes more thick and even more thick until it finally becomes a little bit of a sandy, gritty texture, and that's how you know that you have your sugar made. Then I added the mixture to a cookie sheet lined with some parchment paper and let the excess moisture dry for about 2 hours before crushing it and sifting it, and just like that, we have our homemade cane sugar. The process is definitely a bit time consuming, but you're left with natural, pure sugar that's absolutely delicious. So let me know if you'd give this a try. And until next time, get outside and see what you can find.